Eclipse Aerospace manufactures the world's first very light jet. It's unique in its category. It flies at 41,000 feet, holds one pilot, 5 passengers, and consumes only twice as much fuel as an SUV. So, pretty cool little plane. The core values we bring as an IT organization for a manufacturing company is stability and uptime. If the infrastructure stops, the operation stops. The IT scenario that we came into was we acquired the assets of a bankrupt company, the former Eclipse Aviation. The IT infrastructure was the best of everything from several years prior. There were unclear support agreements. Components were end of life, end of service, and it just wasn't an option to try and revive all of that. What we needed to do was to virtualize it and get it into a stable, supported architecture quickly. We had to secure 60 terabytes of engineering data, essentially 10 years of design and development that was running on 3 failing SANs. All servers were boot from SAN, and backup software was not supported. Backup software was out of date. Backup hardware was not functioning. It was a lifeboat operation to move that data into a secured infrastructure. The upgrades in IT, particularly with the EMC and VCE products, allowed us to do was return to a production restart. There were several stages that we went through. Initially, we were servicing the existing fleet of aircraft and maintaining the type certificate. Then we moved on to sales of parts and then upgrades, and all of those things building on to bringing us back into production. I would say we're offering a competitive advantage, from an IT perspective, in that IT isn't the roadblock to returning to manufacturing, returning to production of the aircraft. I don't have engineers fighting their own technology. That the IT infrastructure isn't a problem they're going to have to overcome. I want them working with their tools and designing and building airplanes. Complexity was really the thing we needed to reduce most. I needed to narrow down the number of vendors inside the data center and get one contact for support rather than trying to piece together. I had enough complexity going on with the application mixture and history that I had to unravel. It was really archaeological to find out what the purpose of every component was. From a software infrastructure perspective, I didn't want to be worrying about how my hardware worked. The EMC VCE solution we have currently is a vBlock 300FX and Avamar disk backup system. We're doing offsite disk backup and managing the virtualized infrastructure with vCenter operations, more for monitoring and health. And the application, all of the applications are virtualized, and that's a big change, going from 200 plus servers and 28 rack positions across 3 computer rooms down to the vBlock, which is about 3 feet high, and it's pleasant to be able to behold it all in one place. It was necessary to virtualize all of SAP and the other product lifecycle management applications, given that they're all integrated really closely. The integration from application to infrastructure is seamless. It really makes test development and uptime of those applications a lot easier to support. The immediate benefit was our own peace of mind. I still had application managers who weren't aware that we had virtualized all of their applications even 4 months after the fact. They were still waiting to get back to us about their decision to virtualize and whether it would be safe or effective. And it had been running solid for some time. They were part of the decision-making process, but everyone was really breathed a sigh of relief to have that not dangling by a thread on unsupported hardware any longer. What really drew me to a VCE vBlock solution was in working with all of these technologies in other jobs. I realized what we had all been doing was trying to build our own vBlock until that we read about the reference architecture, and when it really began to solidify and become productized, it was a perfect opportunity for adoption of that technology. What we encountered was an aging infrastructure that had been derelict for some time, and Backups were spotty. Tape indices were unavailable. Some of the hardware and software just simply was end of life or end of support. To try and revive a tape infrastructure just seemed impractical. If we were going for 100% virtualization, we may as well avail ourselves of the next new technology in backup and do disk-based replication and deduplication. We just did not want to be hauling tapes and fretting over backup jobs failing or succeeding. Things move very, very quickly, and that was my main motivator, was that it had to be fast and reliable. The benefits of going to an Avamar disk backup system for us in this particular case were there wasn't anything effective before it, and trying to revive a 6-year-old solution with no operating instructions just was impractical. That also needed to be done with a minimal staff. I couldn't dedicate an individual to monitoring and maintaining backups. And backups happen so quickly now with our NDMP accelerator and image-based backups and agent-based backups that 90% of our backup jobs finish in under half an hour. It's a stressful obligation to make sure that everything is available all the time, and restores can happen reliably, and getting that confidence for the IT staff has just improved their jobs quite a lot. They're quite happy with the tools that they have to work with. They trust them. We haven't enabled change block tracking yet, but we can see the advantage of it. It's going to be even increased speed. We have pushed the Avamar backup agent out to all desktops and laptop computers, and that was a surprising success. I think we managed to get every computer on the network within a month, and we run our backup window midday when most of our mobile users are likely to be connected to the network. And with deduplication, the impact is just not noticeable. The top benefits for desktop and laptop backups have been the speed and self-service restores. Being able to select that target from the Avamar system and deliver it has been a real benefit. The NDMP accelerator turned out to be a very necessary thing for us. And when we tried to walk 60 terabytes of CIF shares, we found out that hundreds and hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of nested files and folders, it was not really going to work. This is, years of Office documents and nested folders and work group naming conventions that were, sometimes really highly individualized. So NDMP was really about the only way to address that. The VCE and EMC partnership and the technology solution that we've purchased from EMC has really given us the stability that we require and the reliability that we need to return the jet to full production. The EMC and Avamar solutions are really supporting us by freeing the IT staff. It's a small group. We don't have a large group of specialists in a highly stratified organization. I have a small number of generalist IT staff who manage a very complex environment and support a very time-sensitive manufacturing operation. And we can get quite a lot done with a small number of people. And the things that they do are simplified a lot so that they're actually able to concentrate on the innovative stuff and applying their intelligence and abilities towards business problems they otherwise wouldn't have been able to address.